And welcome to episode 6 of Drinking with the Boys. I am Chase Almy.
And I guess I'm the other one of the boys. Is that how this works?
I believe so. I believe you're the Corey Stevens.
I am the Corey Stevens, and there is no Cowboys, so this week we get to be the boys.
We're all winning. We're drinking. We're the boys.
The best weekend.
The
best Cowboys
week.
Can't lose.
Yes. And that's what we're going to talk about on what they can do coming back to not lose. They lost 2 players that it doesn't really seem like they lost 2 players on. They did lose 1 player, but we don't know if they lost because it's a fuck situation. We've got a lot to talk about. Jerry Jones.
We can talk about Navarro Bowman.
I don't know what that is. Is that a town?
Navarro is a town in Texas.
That's what I thought.
No, so he's a little bit of an older linebacker, but he was an incredible linebacker for a while. Played alongside Patrick Willis in San Francisco.
Okay.
He just got released.
Uh-oh.
Yesterday, I believe.
He asked to be released, right?
Yes.
Okay,
As opposed to being traded to the Saints for a 7th-round pick.
Right.
Right. That's pretty... There's no dignity in that. And he's been a stud player for them for a long time. So yeah, there's a Twitter report out as of a few hours ago that says he has strong interest with the Raiders.
Ooh, nice.
Ian Rappaport, actual good source,
right,
says that they have a strong mutual interest.
Well, and then you've got,
You know who else has an interest in a good linebacker?
The Cardinals?
That'd be the Cowboys.
Oh,
Cowboys could use a good linebacker. You know who Jerry Jones does not have any interest in? A player who kneels. That's Navarro Bowman.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, but wait. The Cowboys could use a really good linebacker.
But he kneels.
Yeah. Jerry Jones, F you.
Here's the thing, is if we're up 12 points...
Maybe we need to be talking about that.
And we're 32 seconds away from the game.
Wait, what?
And we just want to run that clock out. And they're up by like 7 points with no timeouts. Is Dak going to get... Is Dak going to get released if he kneels? Or is Dak going to like throw an interception, a pick 6, and we lose because he's like, Jerry Jones told me I can't kneel.
Jerry Jones did say don't kneel during the anthem. I think he was pretty specific about that.
Why couldn't he have just been like, hey, don't kneel? And then like Dak Prescott could be like, oh, hey, I drink with the boys on all the episodes, and he hears my great idea, and we go to 2 and 4, and it's because of a pick 6 because he didn't want to kneel.
Losing to the dude, I'd be like, let's tank the rest of the season. If we lost to the 49ers.
So right now we've got 2, potentially 3, pretty much 3 teams that are 0-6 right now in the league. We've got, on the AFC side,
I think
we've
the
got
way to
Cleveland
put it
Browns.
is 2.5.
2.9.
2.9.
I mean, let's be real fucking honest here. The Giants are 0-5. They're going to be 0-6 after facing the Broncos tonight.
They got to go to Denver and play a much better team.
The Niners, they thought they had hope. It was 26-24, I believe, was the final score.
I don't know.
Against the Redskins.
Yeah, why can't good thing the Redskins aren't any good.
I know.
33. Right? Like if they're barely squeaking past the Giant, the 49ers. If they're barely squeaking past the 49ers, I don't really worry too much about them. I mean, of course, they could beat us once. I mean, that's just the way division games go. But thankfully, basically, we just have to worry about the Eagles.
So what we'll do is we'll get through all of our.
Don't change the subject.
I'm not gonna.
The subject is the Giants are 0-6.
The Giants are 0-6.
Let's just say that a lot. Like it just sounds really good. To say the Giants suck so bad.
The Giants will be 0-6.
Right.
We can't say it yet.
Well, maybe when people actually listen to us. Oh, wait, we're going live. Maybe like in 6 hours when people listen to us.
Yeah,
The Giants are going to be 0-6.
The Browns are 0-6, and the Niners are 0-6. So when you're sitting there being a Cowboys fan and being a little upset, at least remember you're not one of them.
Just remember,
Lone Star Beer is there to help you out.
It's a lot better than being a Giants fan right now.
For sure.
No, think of the dysfunction that's happening over in New York. There are rumors about Eli Manning being traded, and he has to talk about, no, guys, I'm not going to be traded to Jacksonville. Odell Beckham Jr., out for the season. Brandon Marshall, showing his age, is not proving to be a good free agent signing. Their defense, apparently, is not all it's cracked up to be because they're 0-5. Pretty clear evidence. Part of their defense that's supposed to be all skilled and stuff, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, cornerback for the Giants, he's getting suspended by the team because he walked out in team meetings and he was arguing with the coach on the sideline. All sorts of craziness is going on over there.
It seems like
be happy we're not 0-6 and the Giants are.
It seems like though there's something in the water in a certain part of the New York area. Because
you talking about the Jets?
I'm talking about the same shit was going on with the Mets during the MLB season.
Oh.
You've got Terry Collins having to try to lead that 3-ring circus that's going on. Now you've got...
Speaking of Terry Collins...
He's done.
He's done.
Ha! And now you've got not Tom Coughlin.
Right.
Because nobody gives a fuck about who it is.
Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, McAdoo.
He's got the ridiculous hair.
Snickerdoodle, whatever his name is. But nobody cares about it. You've got players walking off. You've got another player who's probably the best receiver in the NFL. Wasn't even really getting looked at.
Absolutely.
Breaks his ankle. Mm-hmm. So you're out. Your fan base is completely turned on you. You're 0-6. You have nothing to prove in life anymore.
Life sucks up there for Giants
Life
fans.
is not good for Giants fans.
Also, shout out to, what's his name? Steve Dennis. He has to eat crow for the rest of the season because he called Giants were his Super Bowl pick for the NFC.
Dude, and it's what's really funny.
They had high expectations. It wasn't a crazy pick, but it sure looks bad now.
Right, and that was the funny thing is, we are sponsored by Draft.com.
You bet we are.
Who are huge, all of them that work up there mainly are all huge Giants fans.
Oh, well.
So it's really kind of funny to be like, hey, we want to throw an event down here in Dallas where people still care about football. Do you mind if we do that? But while we're talking about it, we are sponsored by Draft.com. So I know right now you've got a week off with the Cowboys. So this was the best week to get involved, week 6 for their fantasy drafts.
Right, because you could play unemotionally.
Right.
If you're not picking any Cowboys
Right.
players.
You don't have to worry about the Cowboys. You don't have to be like, do I pick them, do I not? So, this was a really good week. It's a snake draft, so you have an 80% better chance of winning than those other salary cap draft sites that we don't really fucking talk about. So basically what we're doing here is they have drafts that start and it takes you under 5 minutes to draft.
You know what?
And then you just all have to do it for a week. It's only a weekly draft. They've got new ones every minute.
Those drafts are fast. I actually signed up for one.
It
was like a $2 head-to-head.
How did you do?
I don't know. I mean, the stuff is still going on.
So it's this week.
Right. But, it was a fast and easy draft. I just did it to check it all out.
And that's the cool thing, too, is
Super
a lot
easy.
of it's head-to-head or they have, 3-man to 5-man drafts. So it's very small, it's very quick, it's very easy. So you make more money. You have an 80% chance of pulling money out. And you can pull it out whenever you want.
Yeah, they essentially look at it like every single week. If you can be making an 80% return on your investment every single week. If you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but it's a great payout for something so quick and simple.
Right. And it's fun. You can do it right there on your phone. It's great. And the thing is here's what Corey's going to do for you. So for all the new players that we get to free entry, we're going to give you guys a free entry into one of the cash games. So you go to draft.com/DWTB, which is actually our website on our Instagram. If you guys want to get on there, Instagram, our name is Drinking with the Boys. No G on the drinking. Go there, click on it, deposit you some money in it. Be $5, whatever.
Can I make a suggestion real quick? Download the Draft app and then back out of it and then click the Instagram link. It just works better because the Instagram link will tell you to download the app.
Right.
So, I mean, it just works better like that.
So it's draft.com/DWTB for Drinking with the Boys.
Good
you
stuff.
Deposit some money, we're going to give you guys a free game. And you know what? We know that you're going to like it so much that we even talked to the guys at draft.com and we're like, hey, if our guys don't like it, what are you going to do? And they're like, you know what? We'll refund you up to $100 of your money. There's nobody else out there doing it. So sign up. It's a lot of fun. Maybe you could get in there with a head-to-head on Corey. Take a little bit of Corey's money. It's a fun time.
Don't take my money.
Don't take Corey's money. Corey's got a very expensive girlfriend.
Whoa. Man. All you do is...
Sorry, Nicole,
Man.
but you are. You're a little on the high maintenance.
I can't... She's the opposite of high maintenance. You stop. We're talking football here.
It's more Corey that's the high maintenance.
Yeah, you're right. I'm
Corey's
so high
over
maintenance.
here. Is this Lone Star organic?
Right? Good
Does this
Lord.
Wi-Fi have flax seeds?
Chase, I think you would have ruptured a blood vessel if you were in my restaurant today. We'll probably talk about that off air. Things that are going on around the NFL. Are we going to talk about that right now?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about...
you doing Cowboys talk first?
No. There's some big stuff that happened today.
I think... Okay, speaking of big stuff, how about big scores? Saints 52, Lions 38.
That's a big score. That's track meet.
When is the last time an NFL team scores 52 points? 90 points? That's like 3 times more scoring. Like, I feel like that should be part of an ad. 3 times more scoring when you watch the Saints Lions than any other team.
Right, yeah, like that's hey, are you not a defensive-minded person? Do you only like the offense?
Right? Speaking of scoring, Deshaun Watson, 3 touchdowns, I believe.
Dude, have yourself a day.
Man, Deshaun Watson is looking great in that rookie season. Dolphins came back to beat the Falcons. Is there trouble in Atlanta? They're 3-2, still with a winning record. They lost to the Bills and the Dolphins.
Did that O-line blow past the Falcons?
Did they blow a lead? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm just trying to ask if there was any blow involved on the offensive line like there used to be.
Good old Dolphins. I don't know. They came back from a 17-0
He was over there making that football field on the desk.
Lead. Look, the Dolphins, they won one in remembrance of their fired offensive line coach,
to get
probably.
Back to that, though, what was really funny was one of the offensive line guys was talking about, last year where he was taught some bad habits within the organization, which kind of makes me wonder, did he learn how to snort coke from his offensive line coach? Like, are those the bad habits we're talking about? Like, what kind what kind of coach do you imagine? Like, is he calling it like 4:30 in the morning, all fucked up on blow? Like, hey, let's go over some plays. Turn that disco music on. Come on now, yeah.
That's basically how I imagine them. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I like to imagine cokeheads.
They're even.
I mean, I've never known one to like snort one in like a phone sex way, but never known a cokehead to be like, oh, every time I snort this, baby, I'm thinking of you. Oh, feel it, yeah.
I feel like the content of this episode needs a little work.
I feel like
I really wanted to leave that in the past.
I know
we
all wanted to leave the anthem thing in the past. But
we're never going to do that.
We let Papa Jerry back in on that one because he's like, hey, we don't have a game this week. We ain't going to be in the news. Fuck it. If they kneel, they sit.
He caused that firestorm. Good Lord. Yeah. Jesse Hawley, former Cowboys wide receiver. He's making good points on the radio. When you've got a team meeting and you got 50 players in there, and you got a coaching staff, and you got the owner, and the owner apparently found out about the meeting as it was happening, and then showed up at the end of the meeting, and it was Garrett's meeting actually, and they were all trying to promote team unity, and then you walk out and you have this whole like Orlando Scandrick. I guess we can only we can only support these causes. Talking about pink cleats for breast cancer awearness.
Can't forget about that bowl Zeke jumped in.
Right, Salvation Army. That's a cause you can support. He's like, we're being told essentially what we can support. A lot of no comments. The point he was trying to make though is that when you got a team meeting, you've got this loser mentality, right? And you try to have this all hands on deck. Everyone, you got a whole complete team meeting, full staff meeting. There's going to be people who are not satisfied with the result of that.
Right.
Like, people weren't satisfied going in. Maybe you smooth over a few things, but the underlying things are going to still be there. There's still upset people. There's still... There's some craziness brewing in the Cowboys locker room.
Right. On Wednesday at the Star... That's the media day where media gets access to the locker room to just talk to players. Zeke, Prescott, Witten, Dez, all your big name guys unavailable. And they make themselves available every Wednesday. It's not one of those things like, we're not going to get to talk to them. It was a very big deal that we didn't get to talk to them on the media.
Wasn't that... When was the team meeting?
It was before...
Day or no?
I believe it was the day before,
Monday?
so Tuesday.
I think people were going out of town.
It came out on Monday here locally, DFW.
Yeah, we talked about it on Monday, and then Tuesday was a meeting, basically.
Yeah, Tuesday they had the meeting. Wednesday was media day for everybody in the locker room.
I don't know, maybe the bye week changes things. People just wanted out of there.
Right.
No one...
Yeah,
no one was hanging around.
Nobody's in Dallas right now. They're all back home or whatever. They're resting up. They're enjoying the bye week to get things started off.
Just go on a vacation, right?
But you know what?
Go fishing.
I don't wish injury on anybody. I don't
That's
wish
good.
bad on anyone, typically. Unless
we do have injuries to talk about, though.
Unless I'm on Highway 75 or the Dallas North Tollway. Which little Volkswagen Passat, I still fucking remember you. But that's beside the point. But
Chase never forgets.
Had this happened last week,
who are we talking about?
We may have been 3-2.
You just said had this happened. What are we talking about, Chase?
Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
The wicked wizard of the Midwest.
One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Right now could go. He's going into Canton. There's no way around it.
Well, that's correct.
But...
He got sacked. He threw the ball. Whatever. It was right after he threw the ball. He got hit.
And
he fell on his shoulder.
Broken collarbone. And they are now calling...
hey, we're going to call Tony Romo. Hey, how's it like to have a broken collarbone? Does it suck real bad? Yeah. Do you miss most of the season? Yeah, you do. So Packers had been rolling. Packers had been a great team this year. Green Bay was 4-1. They went and lost to Minnesota today.
Yeah.
And lost.
Backup isn't like the Favre backup, I'll tell you that right now.
No. Hundley tried, but
Hundley not Rodgers, I'll say that.
That's a real tough assignment. No, so the Vikings defense is good anyway. It's going to be tough for a random backup. Also, 3 interceptions is not a great way to come into that. But no, Packers season is on very, very shaky ground.
Yes.
Right now, they were leading the NFC North. They were one of the best teams in NFC. And now they don't have their quarterback for a while. So Packers get to experience life kind of like the Cowboys did for a while with Tony Romo always getting injured. It's going to suck to be them for a little while. But, that also means that the Vikings are 4-2 now. If the Vikings are 4-2 and the Lions are 3-3, those teams are primed to win the division now that they smell blood in the water with the Packers down, or with Aaron Rodgers down. Rams and Jags looks like a pretty good game. Rams are winning that one. And we got an upset alert on Chiefs. Chiefs in danger still of losing their first game. They're down 12-3 to the Steelers.
5-0 Steelers. They haven't looked very great this year. Roethlisberger is starting to show some age.
Well, Steelers they've been pretty good, 3-2. They could go to 4-2 on this.
Yeah, but you throw 5 interceptions to the Jags, not ever going to be a good day.
Nope.
So, yes.
I mean, Chiefs could definitely come back, but that's the game to watch right now.
Aaron Rodgers, probably going to be the biggest news.
It is absolutely the biggest news.
2 weeks in a row that we have 2 big names going out. J.J. Watt last week with a knee. He's basically sitting at home, posting on Instagram now at this point. Odell Beckham Jr. gone with the ankle injury last week. And now we've got Aaron Rodgers. Do NFL injuries come in pairs? Who knows?
It's been kind of a crazy injury year. No, speaking of injury, Derek Carr only missed last week with his, to be honest, I can't remember his injury. I mean, do you remember ankle, knee, shoulder? Oh, it was shoulder or wrist or something like that. Derek Carr only missed 1 week when we thought he was going to miss 2 to 3. He's played well. 15 of 22 is a pretty good percentage. So he's up there trying to show like that he's some superhero. Playing for the Raiders right now, trying to get them over see there it went with San Diego again. The L.A. Chargers. Trying to beat the L.A. Chargers.
Yeah. L.A. Chargers. I'm never going to go.
What a silly name.
Yeah.
What else we got? I think that's everything. We're going to the Cowboys talk, right? No. What else we got?
We've got one more.
What else we got?
So everybody, in the world is really Sue happy now. We love to sue everyone.
Sue everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So this
Sweet Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick decides.
Sweet Jesus.
Colin Kaepernick is like, hey, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to...
I think he just did this for the publicity.
He did. Maybe. This guy is such a fucking joke. I'm going to tell you right now. I am not a Colin Kaepernick fan.
We're aware of that. Ooh, what is Adrian Peterson out there doing? Cardinals are winning. He just got traded to the Cardinals. Let's see his running yards. 113 rushing yards. It's amazing. He can actually still do good work when he gets the ball. Saints, we're talking to you. What you got over there?
Well, so Colin Kaepernick files grievances against NFL owners for collusion.
That's right. He says, I have a legal case now. I don't know. Do you?
Well, here's the thing.
Whoever Mike Freeman is, his thumbnail picture, he's some Hill columnist. I've heard his name before, but his thumbnail picture is of Jamel Hill. So that doesn't really help us, guys. Like, we want to know your picture, not hers.
Let me go ahead.
Sorry, we're not talking about Jamel Hill. I'm not doing that.
I'm going to go ahead and go off here on this.
He says it's huge news. Filing a grievance against the owners.
So, Colin Kaepernick is 6 weeks into the 2017 season.
It's a true story.
And he turned down his offer to go be a free agent because he thought,
he's a free agent, right?
He's a free agent.
Right.
They offered him.
Wasn't there a backup quarter? Wasn't there a whole rumor about being a backup for a little while? I don't know.
He was going to be a backup.
He didn't want to take that money.
And
he hired an attorney. I mean, I guess that's the first step, right?
Well, yeah. I guess that's what you do in America is you hire an attorney.
So, yeah, he opted out of his contract last season.
He opted out of the contract.
He expected to find a new spot.
Yeah.
But
I guess he forgot that in America you don't have to have a job because we don't have to hire you because no matter what you think and no matter what union you believe you're in, you don't have to work.
I mean,
that's the great thing about America.
You're not owed a job. That's
You're not
correct.
owed a job. And you don't. And the cool thing about sports and entertainment is you can say things or you can do things that people don't like, and they don't have to hire you, just like everyone else in America.
Hey, I got cool little picture there. You know who's on the right? Colin Kaepernick. He's a Packers fan.
There you go.
You know who just lost their quarterback? The Packers.
And you know who's also in the Midwest?
Hey, that'd be funny if he did make such a stink about suing the NFL owners just now, whenever this broke. What was that, 3 hours ago?
Right.
Hey, maybe the Packers would be like, oh yeah, we're gonna call him up. He'd be a better backup.
I don't think Colin Kaepernick.
I think he's made his bed now that he's suing the owners. He's never gonna.
I mean, last week it was, I would stand during the national anthem if you guys give me a chance. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you really cared about your cause. And I think this goes to show you that no matter what level of sports you are in, or whatever it is that you are in, there are always consequences to your actions, whether they're good or they're bad. And I think Colin Kaepernick is starting to learn that, and now we're getting to the point of such pettiness to where, it's all of the owners getting together and making this a deal where we're going to blackball. And cool story, bro, because that's what's happening. Yeah. Nobody wants you on their sideline. Do you know why? Because your quarterback and your ability and worth is not worth the blue-collar people who are pissed off about the anthem protest already. It's not worth losing their dime. I'm going to tell you right now, it is a business. It is a business. At the end of the day, they are making money. You are working for a place, they are paying you, and they're going to get a profit. You are only worth their profit. Mm-hmm. And right now, you've got a whole bunch of people who are sitting behind desks who are market research analysts. They're going through all this social media stuff. There's people that the NFL teams and the NFL have hired who go through and they look at all the hashtag posts. They look at everything that's tagged with the NFL or the teams they're affiliated with.
He's
and
a
they see all of
risky
this
proposition from the marketing standpoint. Absolutely.
He had a really good season. He had a decent season the next time, and he started to go downhill. He became a backup quarterback, and everybody thought, okay, he's a backup quarterback now. He went from, rags to riches down to rags again. Like, he had all this stuff going for him. And so a lot of people thought the kneeling during the national anthem was kind of his way of staying in the news. Well, he continued it. He gave up the offer. He was like, no, I'm going to go free agent because I'm going to get signed, and nobody wanted him. And now he's sitting there, and he's ran out of money because he's donated it all off to everyone, and he's going to need money to pay the bills. So now he's fucked. So last week, he bitched out on his little protest, and he says, oh, guys, I'm not going to protest the national anthem if you'll sign me. If I have another chance in the NFL, I won't protest the national anthem. Well, you know what? You had your one chance, and it's owned by a bunch of white guys who know, hey, you know who loves the NFL?
White guys.
Who do we do a whole bunch of stuff for? Who we wear a fucking uniform for? Who we make everybody give up their team colors and wear navy or tan and olive green? We do it for the servicemen. We are huge on our military. We're huge on that. That's how it is. That's how it goes. And you've got a group of fucking people who don't want to stand up for it, and it's pissing people off. It's pissing off everybody who was born pre-1978. It's pissing every single one of those people off. And do you think that they're going to lose that business? Because you know what? Us as millennials and Gen X or whatever the fuck we're called these days, we could care less. Because if it feels good, do it. If you have a cause, stand for it, whatever. But you know what? We make dick when it comes to money. We don't sit here, and we're not the ones in the stands. Corey and I are almost 30 years old. We're not at games because we can't afford to go to games. Our paychecks don't afford it. We can't afford it. When the tickets are $125 plus it's $12 beers, there's not much left in the budget.
100, right.
So
tickets
the people
are outrageous.
Right. So the people who can afford it are your middle-aged, upper middle class to wealthy people who are staunch typically conservative people. Depending upon the area, yeah, you get a little bit more lenient once you get to the coast. But here in the Midwest and in the South, it's a very strong deal. I've had so many people that I see on Facebook, oh, I'm not going to watch another NFL game this year. You know, I could give two shits about the protest. If you want to sit down during the national anthem, that's your deal. If you want to look at the national anthem as just a song, you can do that. I don't care. But don't start being a third-grade sissy after a cat fight and pissing and moaning like an 8th-grade girl who found her first period when no one wants to fucking sign you because they look at you and they say, your talent on the field isn't worth the bullshit that you've caused and that you're calling.
Yep.
Nobody cares about you, Kaepernick. Move on. Move to Uganda or wherever you want to do your peace thing. That's fucking great and noble. But you know what? You're now proven that it was all a stunt and it was all money and you thought somebody was going to give two shits. And I'm going to tell you, when you're washed up and you haven't played in a year and the last time you touched a ball, it looked like a fucking 8th grade JV team that was out on the fucking field. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you, Kaepernick. Just sue who you want. Do whatever you want to do. Call grievance. They are getting together. And you know what they're all doing at you, Colin Kaepernick? They're fucking laughing at you. You know why? Because right now you don't have a pot to fucking piss in, and they're sitting there pulling at least $130 million a year off of players who can actually play, and the only thing that they don't do is sit over there on the fucking bench during a national anthem with their afro because they're going to prove you wrong. Right. They proved you wrong, Mr. Kaepernick, and that's what you're going to do. You've made your fucking bed, so put your satin pajamas on, pull your hair up in your little nightie cap, and go to fucking bed and get out of the NFL because you are done.
Yeah, you make your bed, you lie in it. It's okay. The main thing is this whole it seems to be blowing up on Twitter right now about how Packers need a quarterback. No, I think cooler heads are seeping through the comments. Brett Hundley is just as good a chance as being good as Kaepernick is. He's actually been participating in the team for 6 weeks. Kaepernick has not been on the team for weeks. He wasn't a part of training camp or anything. You've got the young guy versus a veteran, so you got the more potential from Hundley. You know, he was the Packers draft pick, so the Packers are going to give him more chances. He's not kneeling. Kaepernick is the PR nightmare. You know, it's like the basic thing is it would be a backup opportunity again. So it's like there are so many situations it just doesn't make perfect sense. It makes more sense for the Packers to call up Tony Romo than it does to make him call him Kaepernick.
Right. I mean, there's no,
it's Tony Romo being a Wisconsin native and being
Illinois.
A lot. If we're going to talk about quarterbacks who haven't played in a while, let's go with Tony Romo because he's proven that to be about 10 times more talented than Colin Kaepernick.
Right, and I think that's the thing is, if he was a better quarterback, if he was an elite quarterback,
it always comes down to can you make us win? If this was Peyton Manning kneeling, Black Peyton Manning, I don't know. If it was Donovan McNabb, if it was Warren Moon, if it was Dak Prescott, if it was
Vince Young,
if it was Michael Vick, if it was all these quarterbacks who've proven they can help you win over and over, they've proven that. And they didn't just have one good year.
Right.
With an incredible defense.
If Dak Prescott was hurt and Michael Vick was like, I'm willing to come back, and he sat down or kneeled during a national anthem, you better bet.
Right. We're talking about these quarterbacks, not like obviously now. I mean, Mike Vick is 55 years old now or whatever. Who cares? But the point is it always comes down to how much can you help your team win. Right. And then the if you're not going to be the starter winning games for us and you're just going to be the backup, no, backups do not cause media circus.
Right.
Because backups are replaceable.
Right.
They're just cogs in the wheel that have a 4-year career, and then you talk about them only in your local market, and nobody else knows the names of Gerald Sensabaugh and Jeff Heath and, Justin Durant, all these random backups that Cowboys fans know over the last few years. Nobody else cares about him.
No.
You don't make a scene. You're a backup.
Right. And that's the problem.
Yeah,
And
that's the problem.
that's where he screwed up, is he
thought he had starter caliber talent, and he didn't.
No. And that's all breaking today. I'm sure there'll be a lot of stuff come tomorrow, which will be
all
Monday
night long.
morning. It'll
Twitter,
be all
blah, blah,
over
blah, Kaepernick, blah, blah, blah.
ESPN, whatever sports source you watch. It'll be all over it. It just seems that this year the NFL has been more about bullshit than football.
Right. Yeah, no, we haven't even really got to the Cowboys stuff yet. I mean, the Cowboys are on a bye week like we talked about, but some of the stuff that went down, their backup defensive tackle, I mean, I think he started a game probably, but right. Stephen Paya, he was a off-season signing. He hadn't really, he's kind of an older guy, I think maybe 32, 33. He might have even played with Rod Marinelli in the past, and so he kind of got brought on as a chance, defensive lineman. Well, he was getting injured. He's also older. He ended up just retiring instead of just sitting on the practice squad for a while. And then the Cowboys also realized that their little plan to bring in Nolan Carroll is a veteran presence, and he's going to provide us, a decent, adequate job at cornerback. They signed him to a 3-year deal. It wasn't anything crazy expensive, but it wasn't super cheap. Now that we look at him, Nolan Carroll has been cut by the Cowboys. The basic reason behind that is because the young defensive backs that the Cowboys drafted, players like Jordan Lewis, are outperforming Carroll. So you're not going to keep the veteran around when the rookie's playing better than you.
Right.
So they're going. The Cowboys are making a couple little changes. The biggest change that's coming to the Cowboys next week is we're going to get Sean Lee back. Maybe, if the Cowboys actually had any sense about them, they'd go spend on getting a stud linebacker like Bowman, who's now in the open market, and suddenly go from without Sean Lee having one of the worst linebacking cores to, okay, now Sean Lee's healthy, and we look at pairing him with Bowman in the nickel packages, that's one of the best linebacking cores. They're also Penn State bros from back in the day.
Also, though, the one thing we have to look at, we're more than likely going to lose Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, we got to dive into that.
So Elliott's
courtroom news, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So Elliott
is suspended.
Elliott is still suspended
as of today.
Here is the thing: is Elliott, put in the temporary restraining order in Sherman.
Judge Mazant granted the injunction and the restraining order on the NFL's ruling,
right?
And that's why he kept playing,
right?
Well, then the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans said they struck it down, basically,
right?
So then, if that's struck down, then
his
the
suspension is
on.
upheld.
Yeah.
So now the NFLPA and Zeke now have to file an appeal in New York City, which I believe they have.
Right. So both. Right. Yes. They're going to take the court. They're taking. They take the fight to New York. Yeah. I don't know.
They have a 12-judge panel that has to hear it.
Yeah.
So they have that filed, or they are filing it
because that's where the NFL had also been fighting it.
Right.
Was in New York, where the NFL office is.
Right.
And it seems like that's more of where they have the chance, maybe a 50-50 chance. Some people are saying, legal experts on Twitter, unlike ourselves, not legal experts. We retweet them because they're the experts. They're saying that's where they have the chance, maybe a 50-50 chance. They are taking legal steps to say back to the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans, can you undo what you just did, basically?
Right.
And I guess there is technically a chance if they can create the right argument and then blah, blah, blah. So it could get somehow undone from what the Fifth Circuit just did, or they could get a restraining order or an injunction from the court in New York.
Right.
It's a lot more hoops. Basically, it's going to just like back when we were all waiting around on the steps of the courthouse in Sherman, Texas, and everyone, the shows are messing with their schedule because it's the afternoon and Judgment's on is about to issue a ruling. We're going to have that thing again. We're going to wait around on the court news to hit the docket, and then we'll finally get something happening. Right now, we're just wait and see.
And I do think that going forward here after the bye week, come back Monday when practices and stuff start coming back into the regular routine, I think what we're going to end up seeing is there's probably going to be a little bit less Zeke because this one seems like this might be a little bit harder and something that they're going to have to prepare a little bit more for.
Yeah, no, I mean, essentially, he got lucky. I mean, however you want to slice it, he got his TRO, his primary injunction, his restraining order once in the East Texas court, and then it got undone. So it's like he's got to get lucky again. So it's like how many times are you going to keep winning in court?
Right.
That's why the sentiment now is kind of like, oh man.
So we have Alfred Morris, we have Darren McFadden, and this is really Rex Ryan was saying it earlier.
We also got
this
that
morning.
Rod Smith guy,
right?
Was it Jalen Smith's brother?
But they're basically saying this is the chance Darren McFadden's lived for because this is the chance for him to step up. Will he do that? Will the Cowboys go with that? It'll be very interesting. Luckily, they can kind of test out some stuff because they are playing the Niners.
Yeah.
They'll have a healthy defense, so they'll be able to hopefully keep the Cowboys on the field long enough to kind of figure out a winning combination on a run game. It looks like it's probably going to be very pass-heavy, so hopefully Beasley, Dak, and Witten are all ready, plus T-Will.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's there.
No more pick sixes going through your hands.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and call it a day. I know we've got some stuff to get to. Drinking with the Boys is Instagram and Facebook. DRNKNW The Boys is our Twitter. We're super active right now. We're always on. We do this live. We're on iTunes and Spreaker. We're also on YouTube. So definitely check us out. Hopefully we'll be able to start getting some video content up while we're doing this live. But other than that, guys, we're going to sign off, and we may break with any Zeke news or anything else that happens. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Also remember to check out draft.com/DWTB.
And go watch the Giants lose tonight.
That's awesome. Until then, we'll see you next time.